What's up, y'all? Welcome. My name is Evan Strong, the founder of In The Image Clothing Company. This is actually In The Image Clothing Company Poodles. And the reason I say it like that, instead of just saying, hey, welcome to In The Image Clothing Company Poodles, actually, this is where we're at. It's been a few months since I've made really any videos on In The Image Clothing Company Poodles, which is 1/4 of In The Image Clothing Company as a whole. But you know, yesterday I made a video titled Keeping Less Dogs in Shelters and More Dogs at Homes. I did it at a shelter. I was with this, hear this correct, because of what this video is titled and the way that I talk about mixed breed dogs, but a really cute, really sweet, really awesome golden doodle. I think it was a Labradoodle. The reason I say it like that is because I'm gonna get into this. This video is actually titled, What is a Doodle? And there's people talking about this. People know what a doodle is. Some people have no idea. And sometimes it's kind of like, well, is it this? Is it that? Where does it really come from? How much of poodle is actually in a dog to make it a doodle? And we'll get into talking about this, okay? But that's what we do. On In The Image Clothing Company Poodles, we let dogs stay natural, okay? Really, it comes from our main side of In The Image Clothing Company, allowing the body to work. We do it through clothing. The human body has a center line, the sternum, the spine, the trachea, the nose, and our jaw, naturally stabilizing our entire body. And then we place clothing on our bodies, and it has to stay centered, fit correct, and be made from 100% natural materials. And then our bodies aren't altered from what we place on them. But we talk about everything we do in life as well, just being natural, right? Natural, neutral, and normal are synonyms within the functionality of a being, the human body and dogs as well. So coming from the main side of In The Image Clothing Company, what In The Image Clothing Company Poodles really does is the same thing, but for our dogs. We specialize in purebred standard poodles, and you know, I say a phrase pretty often, a mutt is a mutt. And I don't mean to be mean, but I mean what I mean. And I give context on it, and a lot will be given in this video here, and we'll discuss what a doodle really is. But yeah, just letting dogs stay natural in all that we do, because slippery flat flooring is bad on their joints and they wouldn't naturally be on it. Collars, leashes, and harnesses are placed around the dog's neck, really altering their neck, keeping their jaw open, making them be more dehydrated than they'd naturally be, altering their spine, noisy collar sounds, right? Dog tags jingling, and our dogs can't listen to our commands because they're just being distracted by noise, being pulled on by leashes, right? And just feeding, hydration. We talk about dogs and just not altering them in a modern man-made world, just like we talk about human beings on the main side of In The Image Clothing Company, okay? But yeah, that's what we do. A lot of what we do as well, though, is talking about interacting with our dogs, like holding leashes in ways where our bodies as the owners don't get altered, right? Advocating for proper breeding. Talk about a doodle or a mixed breed dog, and I say a mutt is a mutt. I'm not being mean. I like mixed breeds, you know, the ones that are already here, meaning the ones that are done properly and planned. There's a lot of unplanned litters. Dogs kind of just end up making puppies, and they're mixed, and then health complications come, right? That's really the big reason I say a mutt is a mutt. And I make it clear, but I also say that boldly because, you know, I mean, there's a reason for purebred dogs. Health reasons, okay? Temperament, expectation reasons, if you will. A lot of things like this. So, yeah. We have events, poodle parade events here in the state of Utah, the United States of America. Beautiful mountains, okay, parks, rivers, clean the creek specific poodle parade events at times where we actually do things for the environment, clean up trash. But I'll give information on, you know, similar to what I do here on In The Image Clothing Company Poodles, letting dogs stay natural, and just all that we do at poodle parade events. But a lot of times they'll just be for fun, just to come, bring your dogs and bring you, okay? Bring your purebred poodles of any size, or guess what? Poodle mixes of any size. I don't have like a problem with mixed breeds, but it's just about the intentionality. It's about doing things properly when we can. And a lot of times we have really, you know, pretty not so good things coming from dogs just mixing to make puppies that are not a pure puppy, right? Not a purebred dog. But yeah, check scheduling in theimageclothingcompany.com, dog products in theimageclothingcompany.com, collars, leashes, harnesses, similar things, whatever we get into down the road, just to let our dogs stay natural, okay? But this is the thing. Let's get into this. Let's talk about it. There are two other sides to In the Image Clothing Company. If I talk about them in here, cool. And so I will right now. In the Image Clothing Company podcast, we have discussions on the gospel of Jesus Christ. We get in depth with it. And we're on episode 165 as of last night, actually. We just talk about life as it is, right? We're all human beings, the same thing, placed on the same earth. We have one God. We discuss him there as he says that he is. Not perfectly, though, because we're not perfect, okay? And then, in the Image Clothing Company music, we don't alter the body there by showing the sizing and setup of guitar to keep the body natural in its neutral wrist position. And I make a lot of music geared around the gospel of Jesus Christ, lyricism, similar things to this, okay, in the Image Clothing Company music. But yeah, let's get into this, because what is a doodle? That's a good question. It's a question I didn't know the answer to, actually, when I first started getting into dogs. And I'll say this, just so there's good context. I actually like golden doodles. I like them. I like labradoodles, like the dude Hilo at the shelter yesterday. I'm pretty sure he was a labradoodle. Pretty sure. Some kind of poodle mix. And I like them to a degree and in ways. I mean, any dog can be a great dog. It really can. Any dog can have health complications. It really can. But the whole thing about a poodle versus what is a doodle is a doodle. This is how I'm going to define it, and this is what it is, but maybe not like exactly distinctly defined this way, depending on who you ask. But this is how it is. This is how I'm going to explain it. A doodle is basically, you see a dog and you're like, man, I can tell there's some poodle in that dog, but it's also mixed with something else. I don't know exactly what it is, you know. But you can tell there's poodle in there with part of another dog breed. That's a mixed poodle, and that's what we call a doodle, okay? Golden Retriever and poodle, golden doodle. Labrador Retriever and poodle, labradoodle. Bernese Mountain Dog and poodle, a Bernie doodle. A Yorkie, right? A Yorkshire, a little Yorkie Terrier and a poodle, a Yorkie poo. Pomeranian and a poodle, a Pama poo, okay, whatever it is. There's a lot of dogs, a Maltese and a poodle, a Maltipoo. And I don't want to leave anybody's dog out of this, you know, because you can bring your dogs that are mixed poodles to poodle parade events, and whatever we do that we specify that you can bring dogs to, and make it clear that it can be a mixed poodle as well, under In the Image Clothing Company poodles, yes, bring them. But that's what a doodle is. Okay, if that's not the actual like technical definition, that's how I'm gonna describe it, because that's what it is. Okay, because there are those dogs where you look at it and it's like, that's a cute dog, but I can tell it's not fully a pure poodle. What's your dog mixed with? You know, you ask the owner, and they're like, oh, it's actually part golden retriever, and you're like, oh, it's a golden doodle, right? They can be amazing dogs, and this is the thing is, like I am saying, and like I say and make it clear, I'm on both ends of this. I make it very blunt and bold, raw, real. Blunt, bold, raw, real. Those are the things, right? In the Image Clothing Company style, if you will. When I say a mutt is a mutt, because we advocate for proper breeding under In the Image Clothing Company poodles. We breed purebred standard poodles. We do it proper. We'll do all that we can to do all that we can under video. I mean, even filming puppies being born, right? The litter's actually coming out of the moms, because people need to see this stuff so they know what's going on. It gives good context. It really shows people that there's a proper way to do things. I mean, we'll try our best to do everything as proper as we can, right? Not that we have like the absolute best way to do things here, but that's what we're trying to do, right? Do things as best as we can. So, you know, there's a properness, if you will, to breeding dogs. But I also really do love golden doodles. They're so sweet. What you get there is the temperament of a golden retriever mixed with the temperament of a poodle, right? The behavioral issues of a golden retriever mixed with the behavioral issues of a poodle. You get the smart parts of a golden retriever mixed with the smart parts of a poodle, and then the not so smart parts of a golden retriever mixed with the not so smart parts of a poodle. And they're both smart dogs. They're both really good behaved dogs. They're both generally fairly healthy dogs. But that's why I said it on both ends. I put the quotes on the maybe not so good parts, and then, you know, I just said the good parts as well. we get both breeds, problems and good things, now mixed into one dog. And that can be a complication that we don't really know how to rule out or expect. You know, when you're breeding poodles, you know what to expect because it's a poodle. Poodles have these problems, poodles have these good things. We can select specific dogs and know where their ancestors came from, and here you go. Now we've got this purebred poodle, and we've picked two specific parents to try to have the best poodle breed in the next generation. Okay, advocating for proper breeding of dogs is what I mean. These type of things. We can go back generations and generations when we register our dogs and we have documentation of the genealogy, okay? So we know where these dogs are coming from. We know health complications, health problems, and good health things as well from past generations, and then we can further good bloodlines. And you can do this, right, with mixed dog breeds as well, with doodles. And so this is the whole thing. This is that other end of it where I say I really do like mixed dogs sometimes and done properly, because we have to see it as it is. Every dog breed that didn't exist at one point was essentially like made by mankind, right? Selected by human beings, unnaturally selected, if you will, but it's not so bad if we're doing it properly, healthily, okay? And then we took two different dog breeds and we zeroed in through breeding on a new dog breed. And this has happened. I get it. I understand, right? That's how it works. And so when it comes to things like a golden doodle, a fairly new dog, it's only been a few decades since, I mean, I think it was like the 90s. Don't quote me on that right now, but I think so. 1990s, around there, maybe around there. It's fairly new, maybe 40, 50 years back only, that they started having golden doodles. And it takes time, it takes generation and generation and generation to create a new breed and to do it to where we can actually pretty well predict how the puppies will be when they're born, how healthy they are, what to expect, and, you know, kind of zero in, if you will, narrow in on a good, healthy breed that we've kind of created. But it's in the name. It's not a real breed. And before you get offended, I want to hit this kind of on both ends. I just want to be objective, but also just talking about it out of the reasons why we speak on it so boldly, and coming from the angle of advocating for healthy dogs, healthy breeding, proper breeding, planned litters. It's not a real breed, yikes, but in its own name is two other breeds. It's a golden from the golden retriever, and we can say oodle from poodle, right? A golden doodle, its own name is actually just part of two other dogs' names. It's not its own dog. That's just how it is. And that's what I'm saying is you have to be able to kind of regulate what's really happening. Otherwise, you can have a first generation golden doodle, or you can have a third or fourth or fifth or sixth or seventh generation golden doodle, and maybe one of them's from a poodle purebred and a golden retriever purebred, and then one of them might be from like a 3-generation golden doodle mixed with a poodle, and now it's like, wait, where's the dog? You know, it's like it's not a real breed. I'm not being offensive, right? I want to be clear on what I'm saying, because that's clear on what I'm saying. It's just really technically not its own thing. It's kind of this in-between mix, and that can bring problems. We can't really have the way that we can with purebred dogs, this idea of like, oh yeah, poodles, they generally have this type of temperament, or oh yeah, golden retrievers, they're generally this type of dog. It's like, well, some golden doodles, depending on generation and depending on the amount of each poodle or golden retriever in the specific litter, act like this, but then some act almost like completely different. It's an in-between type of thing. It's not an actual purebred. It's not an actual dog. That's weird to say, but I want to say it like that so you can see what I mean. It really isn't. And that doesn't mean they're bad dogs. I mean, you can have a full-on mutt, like in all just like seriousness, like a ratty looking dog. You can tell like is not very properly bred, not very healthy, but it can be someone's best friend and a great companion. It can be a good dog in many, many ways, but it might have a lot that comes with it because it's just kind of not proper, right? So on that end, we've got all that. A lot of problems that really could come up, and any problem could come up in any dog ever. Just like a human being, there can be complications in birth or whatever. But, you know, it's easier to plan and understand what's going on when we breed purebred dogs and try to really keep it proper for the health of the dog and all that comes with it, man. There's a lot that comes with it, okay? Then on the other end, there's some amazing mixed breed dogs. And for this, right, we're talking about just poodle mixes specifically for what is a doodle. Golden doodles, man, I love them. I actually really do, and that's why they're so popular. They're extremely popular nowadays, and they're so new. Everybody loves golden doodles, except for those people who really don't, because they're a mixed breed, blah 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 blah. And I'm kind of that person, actually, part of me, and at times, and you know, heard correct. For the right reasons, I really am kind of on that end where like the finger pointing like no, please don't breed mixed dogs. But on the other end, they're great family dogs. You've got this beautiful sweet temperament of a golden retriever. You've got this amazing smarts and silliness and wit of a poodle, and you know, two generally fairly healthy dogs. Yeah, some things can come in there when you mix them together, definitely, but there's some amazing golden doodles. There really are. And they're cool. You got micro minis, right? Standard size. I don't know. They've got all sorts of sizes that they call dogs, you know, the Moyenne poodles. And is that actually a real size or not, right? And depending on what part of the earth you're on. Anyway, golden doodles are cool. And they're kind of what we like under In The Image Clothing Company poodles. That's what we breed our poodles to be, is do everything dogs, right? Like our do everything clothing, In The Image Clothing Company clothing, or our dog products, just a good collar that you can do everything with, and it just works great for your dog. Just all of our products under In The Image Clothing Company. That's what our intent is, and that's kind of how a golden doodle is, and that's why people like them. You know, we love standard size dogs here under In The Image Clothing Company poodles, right? Big dogs. You get a standard sized golden doodle, and yeah, it can go hiking and camping and in the water, but it can also just be good in your family's house with your kids, and it's gentle and it's loving, and it doesn't require all that much energy like some border collie that you need to run all the time because they're bred to chase sheep. I also love border collies, I really do, but I just, you know, you've got to give border collies the exercise they need, and golden doodles are this really nice family dog, okay? Labradoodles. A lab is amazing. It's also a water retriever like a poodle. Okay, well, poodles actually aren't in the sporting dog breed anymore, apparently. But they were bred to be water retrievers, just like a Labrador retriever. Well, just like a golden retriever, right? They retrieve, like they're hunting dogs. Go retrieve things for you, you know? You shoot a bird and it goes and gets it for you. I don't know, people maybe don't like hunting. I'm vegetarian. I get it, but it is what it is. That's where the breeds came from, right? So, yeah, we have some beautiful doodles in life. Then you've got some dogs that are great. Pomeranians, even though they're often very yappy. You get a Pommy Poo. That's a cute dog. Little toy poodle, but it's like also Pomeranian. It's, you know, there's some great things about doodles, and there are. The problem is when it's not done properly. The problem is you just have your toy poodle just get out and all of a sudden have a litter of puppies with the neighbor's Pomeranian. And it's like, shoot, we didn't plan this. And maybe these dogs haven't been health checked, right? Before you breed dogs, you really should health check both parents. Make sure you're going to have a litter that's at least out of what you can expect, healthy, right? Anything can come up, but if you have underlying health conditions that you don't know, but you can do blood work and find out before you breed this dog, then do that, right? If you can. Otherwise, maybe don't breed your dog or yet until you can do like what's needed, the health testing to really make sure you're going to at least be able to try to ensure you can have healthy puppies, okay? Because now you've got, 3 to 15 puppies, somewhere around in there, maybe one. Some like little dogs only have one puppy in a litter. And sometimes that just happens no matter the size of the dog. But you've got these dogs, and now you've had this whole litter of puppies, and if there's just real health problems and real, surprises that you couldn't have expected because you just didn't even expect the litter to come, the dog's just kind of mixed, right? You see what I mean? Mixed dog breeds, doodles. In that sense, unplanned and just kind of like happen to happen, that's where we get problems. And then we get so many dogs in shelters. We get so many dogs on the streets. We get so many dogs with temperaments that we can't even know how to address, because if it was a poodle, it would just act like this and we could train it to kind of gear around its natural temperament. If it was a golden retriever, we could treat it like this and kind of just like geared around its natural temperament, but it's mixed. And how much of what behavior is coming from which dog and why is it acting in ways that we don't know how to even predict? This is what happens with mixed dog breeds, okay? And it happens often. But, let's say we're on a hike, poodle parade event. You're out there, we've got like 40, 60 people with us, somewhere around 40, 60 dogs, and just hypothetically, who knows, right? Whichever one and whenever it is and stuff. We're up here, not maybe this exact mountain, but there's so many mountains in Utah. And I'm on a hike with you guys, and we're just, having a good time, hanging out. We've got all sorts of beautiful purebred poodles, and hey, guess what? Beautiful poodle mixes as well. All these doodles, right? A lot of people call poodles themselves doodles as well, just because, well, it's like I said at the beginning, if you don't know, it's like, I'm not sure exactly what this is, but I can tell there's poodle in there. I can tell. I see that curly hair. That's definitely hair. It's not fur. I can see, it's like, that's a poodle. But is it fully poodle? I like your doodle. It's like, all right, cool, yeah. I get it. Times and places. So we're on a hike, let's say, a poodle parade event. Evan Strong, me, the founder of In The Image Clothing Company, okay? I'm walking my dog, got a beautiful purebred standard poodle with me, and I'm just like giving information to people where I do, talking about a mutt is a mutt, and someone's got this like Cavapoo, a Cavalier mixed with a poodle, like a King Charles Cavalier Spaniel mixed with a poodle, some type of Cavalier dog. Right? There's a lot of dog breeds out there. And I'm just like saying a mutt is a mutt, and this person's like wincing basically, right? Like what their dog would do, but it's them doing it. They're like, oh man, they take it to heart. No, don't take it to heart. Hear the context behind where I'm coming from, and hear the piece of machinery behind where I'm standing currently, if you'd like to. It's a tractor. But this is what I mean, is we say things that need to come with context a lot of the time. Just as human beings, just as In The Image Clothing Company, and that context is raw, real, blunt, bold, right? Meaning authentic. There's just noise where there is. It's, because that's what I'm saying. You're at a poodle parade event with us. It's going to be just noisy if it's noisy, right? We're here. I mean, this is real. This is what we are. And so, anyway, a doodle is a doodle. It's a mixed poodle with something else. Or worded like this, it's a poodle that is mixed with another dog breed. Okay? And no, not entirely problematic, not terrible. There's some people out there that are doing amazing work. If we can word it like that, we can. It's just, that's, what they're really doing to actually create really good golden doodles, okay? And I know I'm focusing mostly on golden doodles in this because they're by far the most popular, what you would call doodle in modern day. But yeah, any dog breed that is mixed with a poodle, that's what we would call it. We'd call it a doodle, okay? AKA mixed poodle dog breed, okay? And he's fine. He's fine. I mean, maybe you know that. I'm saying I'm not upset with this guy. It might seem like I am. I get it. I film videos out here where people are doing their thing and I'm just doing my thing. And so, sometimes it's pretty noisy is what happens here at the park, okay? Or wherever it is outside. So, there you go. Okay, doodles. That's where we'll leave this. Yeah. So, there you go. I guess that's really where we'll leave this. I'm trying to just think, what else can I say? But I'm in this for life. We're here. We'll have a lot of discussion on dog breeding and different types of dog breeds and all that we talk about with that as time goes, okay? So, yeah, I guess the bottom line is, I know I speak harsh, and I do, but I'm not just all like mean and so against doodles in every sense. But what I am for is purebred dogs, right? It's like within the gospel of Jesus Christ. It's not like God is so upset with us and telling us not to do things because he doesn't want us to do things. He tells us not to do things because of the good things on the other end, right? Don't mix your dog breeds, because purebred dogs can be so healthy, right? That's the whole thing about it. But then, yes, there's times and places, and that's just how new dog breeds come about, is you have to mix it with something else to make it something else, you know? And there's a lot of new dog breeds that just didn't exist at one point. So, yeah, there's some context on where I'm coming from. There's an explanation on what a doodle is, and a little explanation on more of what we are as In The Image Clothing Company Poodles. It's been a few months since I've made a video like this directly on In The Image Clothing Company Poodles specifically. So, yeah, stick around, okay? Today's the 7th of October, 2025. My name is Evan Strong, the founder of In The Image Clothing Company. Got a lot of information that we do and will give, as if this like makes the sound quieter, putting my hand in front of the tractor. But our information applies to all dogs, at least just about all our information. It pretty much all does apply to all dogs, okay? So, doodles, and then dogs that aren't even poodle mixes at all. This darn tractor, I am upset about it. I'm not upset because of the person driving the tractor. I'm upset because I don't want to cut this premature because I'm thinking I need to because there's background noise, okay? It's how we are. If you were here with me and we were in a field and we're at a poodle parade event, just having a good time, let's say we're right here and this is where it was scheduled. If this guy was here, this guy would be here. That's what I'm saying. It's how we are. We're different than a lot of other companies because we're not trying to be something. We're just here to be authentic, speak truth to the best that we can, and further good bloodlines of dogs through purebred dogs. So those darn doodles, right? Nah, that's kind of what we do though. So here correct, and there you go. Okay, man, settling. This is a big thing, as I've been a little bit like limiting myself to a degree on making videos on In The Image Clothing Company Poodles because I don't have a poodle yet. Okay, I'll have Nita, my first purebred standard poodle. She'll be the start of all this, but there's a lot of videos that I can still make, and I just will where I do, okay? Even if we do end up making quite a lot of videos before we ever actually have poodles here with us under In The Image Clothing Company Poodles. It can be videos like this on information where I wouldn't even need a dog here to actually like show something. But the dogs will be with us, man. They'll be with us in all that we do. So much of what we do under In The Image Clothing Company is through poodles, and don't get offended. I'll dog on doodles where I do. Talked about the alliterations, right? But there's some beautiful ones, and there's some really like poorly chosen doodles as well, okay? You'll get doodles that just don't look right at all. And you hear people talk about like, yeah, my dog looks a little silly. It's like, well, yeah, it's a mix, and it's just unpredictable. That's what I mean. And you hear that. I know you do. I know you do. People talk about their dogs like, it's kind of funny looking, you know, he's a little bit different. Yeah, and again, anything can happen, you know, even in purebred dogs, but through mixing dog breeds, stuff comes up, okay? So, there you go, a doodle. I'm humbled by this, that's why. It's like, I don't want to cut this, man. This is cool. I think that's the point, is it's me standing here not cutting it is kind of like God saying, hey, dwell in this a little bit more right now. You've been kind of like not here so much, almost neglecting, if you will, In The Image Clothing Company Poodles as one of your fourths. Like, make some more videos, hang out, do it, you know, don't worry about the background noise, don't worry about having to wait until you have poodles to be in the videos. And yeah, you know, I'll do it. I'll do what I do where I do. There's a lot of videos I can make on In The Image Clothing Company Poodles here leading up to us having poodles, you know, and that's what I've done a lot with a lot of what we are under In The Image Clothing Company, is just making a lot of videos giving context on things to come before they do, so that way when we have things like products, when we have things like events, or I have been talking about In The Image Clothing Company poodles a lot on the other 3 sides where I have, when we end up actually having poodles, it's like people knew what to expect and they have context and background even the first day I bring Nita home as a puppy. You see what I mean? So yeah, I mean, I can make as many videos as I can make, and then we've got this background context, you know, and then there's a foundation laid, right? Like episode 100 of In The Image Clothing Company podcast titled Laying a Foundation. Yeah, there was already a foundation, and so anything we do up until now, it's, you already know who we are, right? I'll bring Nita home and talk about her, and you already have all the context that you do that we have made it all under In The Image Clothing Company poodles before then, to be like, oh yeah, it's no surprise. It's not like, oh, he just decided to get a dog. No, we've been planning this, and I've been planning poodle parade events. I've been planning, you know, how to breed our dogs properly and where our building will be and all these things before it ever has happened. What this thing is doing is actually aerating the lawn, like putting those little like holes in it. And so it's kind of noisy, understandably. But there you go, okay? That's what I'll say. What is a doodle? Now you know. It's a mixed poodle, and there's a lot that comes with that. Some things that can be really great, and some things that really should not ever happen if we can do what we can to avoid it, okay? And really what it boils down to is a doodle is a dog that's not its own breed. Like I'm saying, something that sounds kind of harsh, somebody's got a golden doodle that they love, or any type of mixed poodle, and I'm saying, your dog's not even a real breed. It's like, that's the truth. Not to be mean, but so that we can see it as it is, so that we can understand where these dogs are really coming from. Yeah, they're not even an actual breed. The name in itself is just a mixture of 2 different dog breed names. Okay, that's what doodle is really the D is just replace the P from the poodle, and instead of a D, put, you know, whatever you put for the other half of the dog breed, but then it's not just a half. Sometimes it's like quite a few generations mixed, and it really can be a problem. And not that we need to focus on that. We need to do all that we can to focus on good breeding, healthy, proper, planned litters, okay? So there you go. In The Image Clothing Company poodles, man, we kind of dog on them. Kind of dog on mixed breeds. And I want the context. That's what I'm saying. That's what this video is. Before I ever even, you know, actually have poodles of my own, before we're at poodle parade events and people think that all of a sudden I have this change of heart and I'm like so mean to mixed dog breeds. I've been saying it since the very beginning, and there's reasons as to why, okay? So there you go, and thank you. Bear with it, right? I'm not saying that we're ever gonna change as far as like getting professional microphones and never having noise like this in our videos as time progresses. We might always have our videos just about like this because, hey, we're real, man. Hang out. The information we give, it's real. If it's offensive, if it's harsh and hard for you to hear, if it's true, it's true, right? So there you go, okay? Yeah. I don't want to leave this, man. You'll see just how huge what we do with poodles is when we do it. You'll see. Thank you.